back to the Willie Morgan Show with Manchester United icon Willie Morgan. We've been away for a few weeks, but we're back and there's so much to discuss in the world of football. But before we do that, Willie, of course, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Callum. It's been not too bad. The weather's been quite good here, so it makes a massive difference, of course. I mean, apart from the football, which I try not to think about, apart from Celtic winning the league, that always helps. A couple of other bad results I won't mention, but I might mention later. So no, it's been good. Unfortunately, I lost another pal. I mean, I don't know, every time we do the show, losing somebody. Dennis Waterman. Dennis was a good friend, big Chelsea supporter. He was a massive Chelsea supporter, Dennis. And him and Robert Powell, big friends as well, great friends. So sad to see Dennis gone. You know, he's still young, 70 odd. And apart from that, a couple of birthdays. One was last week. The guy who you obviously, John McLaughlin, the Hilton from the Hilton, John's birthday was last week, and we caught up with him at the weekend there. Sadly, got rather drunk. And I blame McLaughlin. I do blame him. And I just hope that his two big bosses, Steve Cassidy and Paul Farlow, I thought they've got you a nice cake, John. You said you were going to check when you got back, but you've not let me know. Did they get you a cake? So, and a couple of birthdays coming up. In fact, I played golf with them today. I've just come off the golf course, Callum. A bit windswept. It was blowing a gale and sunny. So it was like we were getting battered with this wind, and of course the sun was beating down. Oh. So I feel a bit battered at the moment. So anyway, Mark's going to be 60, and an even bigger birthday is my granddaughter Jessica. She's going to be 16. I know, 16. Thank God. Seems like yesterday we were cradling her in our arms, you know. So obviously, happy birthday to John last week and to the two coming up. And apart from that, I was fortunate. I played in the Bobby Robson Foundation Golf Day, which they had at the Mere for the first time. And I played with Gary and Michael. And the other lad, Phil, was from Hull, and he organises golf trips. I mean, it's a weird world. And we played in the Manchester United team, you know. And we won it, Callum. We really won it. So, and it's a great foundation. Bobby was a great guy. Bobby Robson was a great guy, a great manager, but a nice person. And then I ran into, again, just last week there, Tommy Fleetwood. Now, I don't know whether you're not a golfer, but Tommy's one of the world's great golfers.
I was going to say, I don't play golf, but actually I'm a fan of the sport.
Okay, well, Tommy, I ran into Tommy at the Mere. He was down there practicing, and we obviously met him before. We were chatting away, and lo and behold, his wife, Claire, who was with him, she was there, came up and said, I know you don't know this, but I went to school with your daughter. Really? With Gaynor? Yeah. So he was flying out to America to play, and I think it's a Byron Nelson Golf Classic down in Texas. So when he's back, we're going to have a game of golf him and I, and then we're going to have a bit of dinner and reminisce with my daughter and her about Loreto. It was a nun's school. Sister Kathleen was a bit of a rebel, though. I think she eventually ran off with one of the priests. So it's just one of those things, Callum. So anyway, I'm looking forward to having a knock with Tommy when he comes back. And I ran into a couple of lads, Mick, the dad, and Ryan, the son. They had never been to Mere. I was going down to play with my grandson, Alex. and they were off in front of us. And they'd never been to Mere before. And we came over and said, "Oh, can I have a photograph taken with you?" And the dad. And I said, "Where are you from?" He said, "Hull." Anyway, off they went, did that. And then lo and behold, when we come back in, we had a chat. And he was an old miner. He was a miner just like my dad. And massive Man United supporters. So we're all commiserating. I mean, we were sat there with tears in our eyes. You talk about something else. So yes, it's been quite eventful since I last spoke to you, and but all nice, all good. The weather, I said today, is I'm playing golf tomorrow again, obviously, and it's supposed to be nice, so I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, I try to keep away from football. I happened to walk in on Saturday night. The next door neighbour, Adrian, again, massive red. And it was his daughter's birthday. Madison, 15. Doesn't have to make you feel old when you're going to hit birthday parties at 15, 16, anyway. And just as I walked in, Kay and I, Chelsea missed the penalty. I didn't see the game, I didn't know the score. He's got a big telly on, and I see the guy running up, keeper saved it. I said, "Oh, what's on?" He said, "It's a penalty shootout, the cup final." I said, "Really?" Oh. And then, it was a good penalty though. The young lad took a great penalty to win the match. Super pen. Anyway, it didn't set the night off on a very good note round there. We commiserated with a few drinks. So, other than that, nothing's much the same. Just wait to see what's going to happen. Looking forward to the summer, end of the season. We don't have to watch it anymore for a while, and then see what happens.
Well, as you say, the football for Manchester United has been dismal. Recently, a 4-0 defeat to Brighton recently. As you say, Liverpool win the FA Cup at the weekend. They've also won the League Cup. Man City look as if they're winning the league. Liverpool in the Champions League final. I mean, it's a grim time to be a Manchester United fan at the moment.
Nice time to be a Liverpool fan, though.
It's true.
I do know a few of them. I've got some great friends who are Liverpool fans, and they obviously he emigrated. He went to America. Seamus Purcell, good Irish lad, supports Liverpool. Don't understand it. And Seamus, I know you get the podcast out there in Florida, so I'm happy for you. I've got tears in my eyes, but I'm happy for you. So, no, it's great. It's great for them. And good luck to them. I wish we had the manager.
Completely agree.
Sorry, coach, come manager. But he's as close to a manager. He could be a manager. Yeah, I like him very much. He'd be a nice guy to play for.
When you think about United at the moment, I mean, I don't know if you watched the Brighton game where they won 4-0, but they could have scored 6 or 7. Again, players like Matic and Mata, who've announced they're leaving the club, still playing in these games. It was a very strange situation.
This guy's a joke. Now, you know what I said in the last pod. He's an idiot. Absolute idiot. You leave Ronaldo out when we're playing against... What? Idiot. He hasn't got a clue what he's doing. But as I said on the last show, who appointed him? Tell me the name of the guy that appointed this idiot we've got at the moment. He hasn't a clue what he's doing. Just hasn't got a clue. What's your name? Franz, whatever his name is. He's a joke. And the new guy coming in, yeah, whatever. But what's he going to do? Same players. You got to go right across the board. Well, you know who I'd get rid of. I mean, I think it's only one or two I'd keep. Maybe three. Three.
In terms of the players that are leaving, Matic is away, Mata's away, Cavani's away. They're saying Martial will probably be away. Pogba, of course, is away. So there's going to be about maybe 8 players that leave.
Ronaldo will go as well. He'll go. Don't blame him, obviously. You've got nothing to play with. You know, he still scores goals, but he can't make them and score them. He needs somebody around him, and he just doesn't have it. Be sad to see him go. I mean, I like Ronaldo. He's brilliant.
If you were in charge, would you keep him?
Would I keep him? He won't stay. He won't stay. What's he going to? You know, he's obviously quite bright. Here I am. He's going to be saying, "Here I am. You don't have a player. We were going to play with De Gea, or if De Gea or De Gea, whatever you want to call, can kick the ball far enough to Ronaldo, and Ronaldo can score. That'd be great. Other than that, I wouldn't. If I was him, I wouldn't stay in a million years. You get a chance to go to somebody like Real Madrid or wherever he's going to go. I don't know where he's going to go, or even PSG. Of course, I'd go. Only because there's nobody to play with. We have nothing. Who are they going to get? It's the same people. So whoever, I said, it's a godforsaken job for somebody to come to. He's got nothing to work with. The only saving grace for the coach coming in. Stevie Wonder could follow this guy because he's a dummy. He does upset me. And he said, like, just hasn't got a clue. Who appointed him? Tell me who appointed him. He's the guy that needs to go, whoever appointed him. And we still don't know. Or do we? Did you find out? See, you're supposed to be a private detective, Callum. You're supposed to find these things out.
The problem is when something goes wrong, nobody wants to put their name to it.
Well, it's crazy. You know, and I've said the problem we have behind the scenes, you've got people in charge of buying and selling who've never played football. They know nothing about the game. It's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. So all we can do is wait and hope he does something. But did you say Maguire was going? Did you brighten my night up? Oh, sorry. Oh, I must have missed that. Sorry, folks. I missed that one. Please tell me he's going.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's any takers.
Any takers? Heartbreaking, man.
Does Amir need anyone to cut the grass and keep it in check? You could maybe be a greenkeeper.
I don't think he'd be very good at that. He doesn't move quick enough. I think the mower would be going faster than him. Anyway, enough about him. I just hope that they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to change the personnel because it isn't going to work if they just keep appointing somebody and the same players, same staff. They've got to change everything. They really have to change everything, or it'll be another 10 years just going to the wilderness. There'll just be another team. You know, you win some, lose some, and it's heartbreaking. But at the moment, the big thing in the house at the moment, because Burnley, we're praying. Oh, I hope they stay out. Hope Leeds go down. I mean, the last time we spoke, they were in a great position. But it looked like they were going to be safe. And it'd be Everton, and Everton's got out of it. And now Leeds are back in it. I know Simon asked a question the last time when he was on. Simon, I hope one good result, and we'll stay up. So that'd be nice as well.
No, I hope so as well. I think Burnley have been great in the Premier League since they've been in. They've always punched above their weight. And as you say, a choice between Burnley or Leeds from a Manchester United persuasion, I think we know what everyone watching this is going to choose.
Well, of course. I mean, it's a no-brainer. We'll see. We can only... It's hard when you're just sat and you can't do nothing. You're just sitting watching and waiting and hoping. We'll see. I thought they might have got a result down at Spurs. I mean, they're a little bit unlucky 1-0, but I thought they might have just sneaked a draw down there. Newcastle, well, they're safe now, so they'll be on holiday. Most of the players will be on holiday. Newcastle players, they're already on holiday. So I think we could get a result against them.
Well, it will certainly be interesting, and to all the Burnley viewers, we hope that you certainly stay up. In terms of Celtic, Willie, you mentioned it, obviously winning the league title. After last season, 25 points behind, to come back and win it, it's been a good season considering where they started from.
It's fantastic. You know, they looked like last year they're going to, go in the wilderness for a few years. And they've come right back, and it's been great. It's been absolutely great. So long may it continue, young man. Long may it continue.
Absolutely. The only I suppose downside if you are a Celtic fan is Rangers, as we speak, are going to be playing in a European final tonight against Frankfurt.
But it's fantastic. You know, it's fantastic. It's incredible what they've done. With what they don't have much. It's incredible to come from being thrown out the league and fought their way back up, and then they go on to go to Europe. I admire that. I must admit, I admire that, and I hope they win. I know, but I do hope they win. We'll see. Talking of which, by the way, I got a nice letter from Mr. Pedri, Rod Pedri. I got, as you know, the silver medal that they had struck and sent down to me. And I sent him and his secretary a copy of my autobiography. And he wrote a lovely letter back thanking me. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go to the match that they invited me to. But maybe sometime in the future, get up. Be nice to meet him. So anyway, Rod, thanks for the letter. It was very nice.
Absolutely, and as I say, when we spoke about it on the previous show, it's just great that medal is now with you, and you've got it because you've certainly earned it with your performances with that dark blue jersey on.
They were great times, great times. Time goes so fast, though. It seems like yesterday. It does. It seems like yesterday. And, you know, to diverse, I guess, like last night, we popped in to see Vincent, you know, John's partner, Vincent. And I phoned Johnny Mathis up. And he's at home watching the golf, as he always is. And, you know, he's 87 now. And he sounds about 30-year-old, and he's still performing all over the States. Anyways, any Johnny Mathis fans who are listening or watching, he's in fantastic health, and apparently singing better than ever. So, and he tells me his golf's good. He's going to give me a beating next time we team up. I don't think so, John.
I'd love to watch that round of golf. I imagine it's very competitive.
It is extremely competitive, yes. But John doesn't swear, I do. He sings when he hits a bad shot. I curse. So it's slightly different, Callum.
I must say, we've got so many questions in. It's been a while since we've been on, so I'm going to come through these. You mentioned your autobiography. John Bleasdale, friend of the show from the famous Tartan Army magazine, he's set to release his book, which is all about Euro 92 and Scotland's adventure in Sweden. Highly recommend that one for you. John's asking, Willie, what are your main memories from launching your book? I want to know what I'm letting myself in for.
John, I didn't want to do a book. You know, I'd been asked for the last since 1980, they started asking me to do a book, and I said no. And I'm glad I did now. And I said no for 30 odd years, nearly 40 years. And then I was doing a chapter for Simon Wordsworth's book, Captains of Manchester United. And of course, as always, Johnny asked, why have you never done a book? I said, I don't want to do a book. I'm pretty private and pretty happy. I said, it's far too late now anyway. I'm too old. I've been able to remember. And nobody will want to do it. Anyway, within 2 weeks, he came back and said, I've got 6 publishers. Which one do you want to go with? I said, I don't want to do the book, Simon. He said, it'd be great. And it was John. You know, John, I haven't read my book. I've got to make a confession. I've seen the pictures, but I haven't read the book. I believe they've used about 10%, which we spent 2 years putting it on tape with Simon. And of course, he was great because he came back with facts and memory of games that I played in that I wouldn't have remembered when they were. So he was very, very helpful. But the hardest bit is when you're doing book signings. You know, we went up to the Trafford Centre to do a book signing. I think there's over 500 people there. I was sat there for hours, and it is hard because not only are you signing the book, the copy of the book, they've got 400 pictures that they've been saving for 50 years. Or can you sign the pictures while I'm here? And you can't say no. So I hope that doesn't happen to you, Jonathan. But no, it's nice. People, you know, the one thing that everyone was nice. Everyone. And it was great to see a smile on the faces and how happy it made people. So it was worth it.
One thing I want to ask you, Willie, just on that is some of the criticisms you get maybe of modern footballers is that not all of them like meeting fans. Is that something that you've always liked doing?
Do they have fans? Oh, sorry. Which one are you talking about, Callum? You mean the fans of the club? Yeah. I don't think too many of them have individual fans these days. Sorry. Yeah, the banker, where they put the money, he'll be a fan of them. That'd be the only fans they have. No, it's not the same. Apparently, they're very offhand with people. And I mean, my day at Old Trafford, Burnley, obviously, I used to get the bus. Get off the bus and walk down with the crowd. Just went in a different door. And at Old Trafford, we used to park up the top and then walk down with the crowd. Every game. That's what we did. We didn't go away and do this, do that. You just drove to the ground and parked your car and walked down with the crowd. So you got to know everybody. I don't think that happens anymore. They're pampered beyond belief. I wouldn't mind if they could play, Callum. There's not many. Very, very few. But good luck to them, you know. That's the way it is. That's the way it is.
In terms of another question, Michael, Kieran's a big fan of the show, as we know. Willie, did you ever get a call up for Scotland after the 74 World Cup? I know Charlie Cook got recalled after being out in the cold for Euro qualifiers.
I'm not quite sure. When I came back, I know that's when I had the eye injury. It took a long time to get over that. I really don't know, Mike. I think I got another call and I couldn't go for whatever reason, whether it's because of my eye or was injured. And then I think Ali McLeod took over. And that was it. Never heard from him again. So the only other time I set foot in Hampden was with Rod, when Jock Stein became the manager. I'd finished playing by then, of course. So, no. And yet, it was a great World Cup. It was fantastic. So, who knows what goes on behind the corridors of power? Who knows? Anyway. No, Mike, the answer is no. Is Charlie still with us, by the way, Charlie Cook?
I'm not too sure. It's something that I definitely will look into for you.
With Chelsea, obviously. He was super winger as well. Charlie was a good winger.
Yes, he is. He is still with us. He's 79 now.
Charlie, you old bat. If anyone's listening, it knows Charlie. Pass on my regards, please.
That's brilliant. In terms of other questions, Otterman, our good friend, has got 2 questions. Willie, I remember on the last show you were saying that you had just been on holiday to the Dominican Republic. Do you have any other favourite destinations that you would recommend?
Oh, if I was playing now, Otterman, I'd have my own private jet, and I would probably go to some of the places that I can't afford to go to now, Callum. But I love Portugal, the Algarve. I love it down there. Duncan Bannatyne's down there. You know, I see quite a bit of Duncan when we go down. Portugal, it's nice down there, and I love Tenerife. You know, I had a place there for a long, long time, and I just love Tenerife. It got built up to the hill, unfortunately, but still, you know, it just depends. All I'm looking for when I go away is sunshine. I'm not bothered about the beach. I just want to light a pool, don't get sand everywhere, and sizzle normally. That's all we really, I mean, we're very basic when we go away, just for sunbathing. But so the Dominican was very, very special. The fact that we had a butler, which we had no idea that was going to happen, was unbelievable. And the fact that one was so nice made it even better. So, but no, for me, Portugal and I mean, golfing wise, again, it's a different holiday. To love going to Palm Springs. We used to go to LA first and play. Just mentioned John at Riviera and Sherwood with John, and then we'd go down to Palm Springs for the week and play all day. You know, it's fantastic. So for golf, it'd be Palm Springs, and sunshine, cheap and cheerful, Tenerife, or not so cheap, Portugal. So, anyway, it's nice to talk to you, Otterman. I hope you're well. Hope your wife's well.
Lynn Cameron, big fan of the show, brings it back to Scottish football. Hearts are playing Rangers in the Scottish Cup on Saturday. Who do you think will win, and what will be the score?
3-0 Rangers.
There you go, Lynn. Lynn hopes Hearts win, but I'm afraid Willie disagrees.
No, I'd like to see Hearts win. I mean, the doldrums from, I mean, apart from, you know, I'd like to see them win. But hard task. You know, Rangers are playing very well. Obviously, they're playing well at the moment, and it'll be very difficult for Hearts. Oh, I'd love to see Hearts win. I really would. But, Lynn, I think we're going to be crying. Sadly.
Last question. After you retired, did you ever play football for fun?
I did. My great pal of mine worked at Piccadilly Radio, and they had the team called the Piccadilly Attackers. And he said, "Oh, will you come and play?" And he used to, because he used to lash it out on his show, and you get between 500 and 1,000 people at these matches, and we'd be playing like just nobody's really. And then I played a couple, and it was nice. And then I played a match on Sunday morning, same thing, and there was about 1,000 people there again. And it was a young, I can't remember who they were. It was a club team. And I said, "Oh, you know, playing the left wing and just knock it thing. It was only to boost the crowd. So so I said to the young lad, the right back, I said, now do yourself a favour. I'm not going to, make you look foolish or do anything. I'll just be knocking the ball off and just playing at walking pace, basically. So don't take any liberties. First ball I got, I'm just going to knock it back, and he came sliding in, put me up in the air. We played about 5 minutes. So I chinned him, as you do. I chinned him. So he's lying there, his jaw hanging up. And the referee, we'd only been playing 5 minutes. And the referee sent me off. So Mike Sweeney said, it was Mike Sweeney that used to put the team together. And so Mike said, what are you doing? You can't send him off. What are you doing? They've only come to see him. He said, no, off you go. I said, look, I told the young lad I'm going to be walking. I'm not going to go make him look foolish or bad or anything. And he's taking a liberty. I mean, he slid in and caught me. Anyway, I walked off. And then the whole team came off. Mike said, okay, game's abandoned. Everybody off. He's not playing, we're not playing. So we all went to the dressing room. It was like a bloody hut. And we were there about 5 minutes, and then he came in and said, look, these people have paid money to come, and charity, all the money went to charity, of course. So you can't send them off. So he said, okay, everybody back on. So I went back on, and the young lad, his job was, and I said, I'm sorry. I said, okay, I accept your apology. Just have a good game. Every time you get the ball, you can go and do a little bit. No, I'm not going to say make you look foolish. And it was all right then. And then we were friends at the end of the game. And after we went out had a drink and that. And the lad was fine. So, but that was the last one I played in.
What a story.
No thanks. I need this. So it was the Piccadilly attackers, and I blame Mike Sweeney. Mike, he was a right back. He played right back, Mike. I don't know if you heard of Mike Sweeney. His show on Piccadilly was massive. And then he did a television show for a while. He's still on the radio. I'm not if he's with BBC now but he's still, DJ. And good guy, one of the good guys. Rough as a bear's backside. Michael, he is. Good Manchester lad. So, and a great friend. But yeah, that was my last game. So, no, I don't play in any. I've been asked to go and play all over. I've been asked to go back to America to play in matches, from Minnesota and Chicago and Exwood. No thanks. You just don't know who you're going to be playing against, and if they're playing at 100% and you're walking, it's crazy. And you can't play full out because you make them look stupid. So anyway, I tried my best, did my little bit for charity. I could play about three games, maybe 4. It's a long time ago now, but that was the last one. And I did hurt my knuckle. I couldn't play golf the day after. So, I know, terrible. In fact, you know what I've got? I'm just going to have to stand up and move for a second, okay? I should have brought it. Hold on 1 second. Now, for all you people watching, I went away and come back. All you people listening, you didn't. But the reason was, this morning, I knocked on the door, and a driver who took us to Cheltenham races called at the house, and he brought me a programme. And the reason that I've thought of that is because I chinned him as well and I got sent off. And this is the programme that he brought me, right? I know the listeners, it's Blackburn Rovers, 1965, right? Burnley against Blackburn, at Blackburn, and it was Christmas time. And of course, it's great rivalry. And then the teams, and I don't know if you can see that there, the Burnley team and the Blackburn team. And number 9 in the Blackburn team, even though he didn't play centre forward, played, which is there. And so Mike England, and we beat them 2-0. And it was just a sea of mud. And they had 2 great players at the time, I mean, apart from Mike, who went on to be a great centre half. Wish we'd have got him. Ron Clayton, and they had little right winger, Brian Douglas, who's a little right with great little play as well. Anyway, that match was at Blackburn, and I was giving the fullback a little bit of a hard time, verbally and dancing and doing all. And Mike England, the centre half, he came, and I'm watching the ball. I didn't see him coming. And he slid in and took me, and I hadn't got a spot of mud on me because I never fell. I just used to go, and it was thick mud. I went up in the air and landed right in the mud. I was covered. And he was lying on the floor because we slid in. So I jumped up and I chinned him, as you do. Only when he was on the floor, of course, Callum, because he was too tall for me and I was too big. But I chinned him. Anyway, I got sent off. And this guy's turned up with that programme from then. Isn't it incredible?
That's unbelievable.
You know how much it cost? 6p. 6p. I thought it was amazing. So he let me have it, give it to me. 1965-66 season. So that'll be 65 because it was at Christmas time, the game. So, long time ago. Needless to say, Michael and I are great friends, as you well know now. Play a lot of golf together. But yeah, that was my first sending off. So, Jim Finney. And I think I've told the story before anyway, because I had to walk right across the pitch. I was at the opposite side. And I was being that naughty with the crowd because they were screaming at me. I mean, they wanted to kill me. Blackburn crowd. They hated us. And I'm giving them fingers, lots of fingers. And I got the touchline. Harry Potts whacked me across the back of the head. Gave me a whack. Saying, get up the tunnel, you're a disgrace. Get up the tunnel. And what have I done, you know? Anyway. But there we go. I've got the programme. Do you think that is amazing?
I think that's incredible.
Willie Irvin scored both the goals. Willie was centre forward that day. He scored both the goals. Anyway, I just think it's amazing. He turned up today, the lad with it. But Keith, I know you, again, I know that you started watching things. Thank you so much. It's, I mean, it's incredible. 1965.
That is brilliant.
I was only 2, Callum. I was only 2.
That is brilliant. And in terms of games, one of the other questions actually that came in, what would you say was the best game you ever played from a personal perspective?
Hundreds. It's difficult. There were so many. There were so many. I mean, one of the experiences, of course, Hampden, when we qualified for the World Cup at Hampden with Scotland, was very, very, very special. but there's so many games where, and I know it's gone away from the league, but when we played New York Cosmos and Pelé gave me the man of the match thing and then took me back to his own dressing room, it was kind of special, there's so many. I mean, all the clubs, I enjoyed great games, great moments, so no regrets. But I can't go back and say there was one. Qualifying that night for the World Cup for the first time for, I think it was 40 years or something in Scotland, was a phenomenal, just the feeling was unbelievable. We've done it. And of course, I made the winning goal. I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes to go. Made the winning goal for Joe Jordan. It made it even more special. And it's nice this day that I still have a great affinity with the Scotland supporters. It's quite incredible. I don't realise how old I am, Callum. That's the problem. But it is, there's so many great games that I, played myself and just loved playing in. It just, I don't know. I can't tell you one. Sorry.
Well, it's a great way to end with a story of the red card and the players walking off the field as well. We will be back in a more regular slot in the next couple of weeks. But before we go, Willie, your usual message for the listeners.
Well, to everyone listening and everyone watching, as always, take care of yourself. And in these times, it's still not gone. And as always, wherever you are, may your God go with you.
Until next time, thank you very much.